Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English podcast. My name is Adam, and I'm so happy that you've decided to join us today. This is a place where we talk about interesting topics in simple English to help you improve your listening and speaking skills.
Hi, everyone. My name is Julia, and I'm really excited to be here with you. If you are learning English and want to explore new ideas while practicing your language skills, this podcast is perfect for you. We are here to make learning fun, engaging, and easy to understand.
That's right, Julia. We know that learning a new language can sometimes feel challenging, but talking about real-life topics in simple words can help you feel more confident. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that is a big part of modern life and affects almost everyone in some way: the influence of social media on daily life.
Social media has become a very important part of how people communicate, share ideas, and spend their time. Whether it's posting pictures, watching videos, or chatting with friends, social media has changed how we live. But many people don't stop to think about how much it influences their daily habits, relationships, and even their emotions.
That's so true, Julia. Social media is all around us, and it plays a big role in our routines. Before we go any further, let's explain what social media really means. Julia, can you help our listeners understand it in simple words?
Of course, Adam. Social media refers to websites or apps that allow people to connect and communicate with others online. You can share photos, videos, and messages with your friends, family, or even strangers around the world. Some of the most popular platforms are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and WhatsApp. People use these platforms for many reasons, like staying in touch, learning new skills, or even for work.
That's a great explanation, Julia. Social media is like a bridge that connects people, no matter where they live. For example, if you have friends or family in another country, you can talk to them instantly using apps like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. It's a way to stay close, even if you are far apart.
Exactly, Adam. But social media isn't just for staying connected. It's also a place where people can find entertainment, read the news, or even discover new hobbies. For instance, I love watching cooking videos on Instagram. They're not only fun to watch, but also give me new ideas for meals I can try at home.
That's interesting, Julia. For me, I like following travel accounts. They show beautiful places around the world and inspire me to plan my next vacation. Social media is really amazing because it allows us to explore so much without even leaving our homes.
Yes, Adam, but social media is also very powerful. It can help people connect and learn, but it can also change how we think and act. That's why it's so important to talk about how it influences us.
Absolutely, Julia. So today, we will look at the good and bad sides of social media. We'll also discuss how it impacts our daily lives and how we can use it in a healthy way.
This will be a very useful discussion, and we hope you enjoy it. So grab a cup of tea, relax, and let's dive into the topic of the influence of social media on daily life.
Let's get started. Social media is a big part of our lives, isn't it, Julia? Let's start by talking about the most common social media platforms. These platforms are so popular that almost everyone knows their names, but they each have different features and purposes.
Yes, Adam. For example, Facebook is one of the oldest and most widely used platforms. People use Facebook to connect with friends and family, join groups based on their interests, and even organize events. It's like a virtual meeting place where you can share your life updates and see what others are up to. I remember joining Facebook years ago to keep in touch with my school friends. Now I use it to stay updated about birthdays and family news.
That's a good point, Julia. Then there's Instagram, which is all about sharing photos and videos. It's especially popular among young people and creative individuals. Many people use Instagram to showcase their lives, whether it's through selfies, travel photos, or pictures of their pets and food. It's also become a place where people learn about trends, like fashion or fitness. I personally enjoy scrolling through Instagram to find inspiration for photography and see how people express themselves visually.
Exactly, Adam. Instagram is very visual, but TikTok is more about short videos. TikTok has become hugely popular, especially with younger audiences. People share funny clips, dance routines, or even educational content. Some TikTok creators make videos that teach English or explain science in simple ways. It's amazing how much information can fit into a short, 60-second video. I often find myself watching one video after another without even realizing how much time has passed.
I know what you mean, Julia. TikTok is so engaging that it's easy to lose track of time. And let's not forget about Twitter, which is great for quick updates and discussions. People use it to share news, opinions, and even jokes in just a few words. It's like a global conversation that's happening all the time. I use Twitter to stay updated on current events and to follow experts in different fields.
That's a great example, Adam. Another popular platform is WhatsApp, which is more focused on private communication. People use WhatsApp to chat with friends, share photos, and make voice or video calls. It's so convenient, especially for people who live far away from their loved ones. I use WhatsApp to talk to my family almost every day because it's easy and free.
So, as you can see, each platform has its own unique features, and people use them in different ways. Now, let's talk about how social media is part of our daily routines. For many people, checking social media is one of the first things they do in the morning. You wake up, grab your phone, and start scrolling through your news feed or checking messages.
That's so true, Adam. Social media has become like a morning newspaper for many people. But instead of just reading the news, you also see updates from friends, funny memes, and videos. It's a mix of entertainment and information. Personally, I like to check Instagram in the morning to see what's trending or to watch short motivational videos to start my day.
And it's not just mornings. People use social media throughout the day. For example, during lunch breaks, you might see people scrolling through Facebook or watching TikTok videos. It's a way to relax and take a break from work or school. Social media gives you a little escape, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Yes, and it's also a way to stay connected with others. For example, if you're feeling bored or lonely, you can send a quick message to a friend on WhatsApp or comment on someone's Instagram post. Social media makes it easy to stay in touch, even if you can't meet in person. I often use it to keep up with friends who live in other countries.
That's a wonderful example, Julia. Social media also plays a big role in how people get their news. Many people no longer watch TV or read newspapers. Instead, they get their news updates directly from Twitter or Facebook. For example, during big events or emergencies, you can see live updates almost instantly. This makes social media a powerful tool for spreading information.
But sometimes, this can also affect our personal routines in ways we don't realize. For example, spending too much time on social media can make it hard to focus on other tasks. I've noticed that if I spend too much time scrolling through Instagram, I end up delaying things like cooking dinner or finishing my work.
That's a good point, Julia. Social media is designed to keep us engaged, and it can be hard to stop once you start. For example, if you're watching videos on TikTok, one video leads to another, and before you know it, you've spent an hour or more. This can disrupt your daily schedule and even affect your sleep if you're using social media late at night.
Yes, Adam. But at the same time, social media can also make our routines more fun and interesting. For example, I've joined a fitness group on Facebook, and they share workout challenges every week. It motivates me to exercise regularly and stay healthy.
That's a great example, Julia. Social media can definitely have a positive influence on our routines if we use it wisely. For instance, I follow an account on Instagram that shares language tips, and it has helped me learn new words and phrases.
So, to sum up, social media is a big part of our daily lives. It helps us stay connected, entertained, and informed. But it can also distract us and affect our routines if we're not careful.
That's right, Julia. Social media is a powerful tool, and it's up to us to use it in a way that benefits our lives. Let's explore this idea more as we continue our discussion. Now, Julia, let's dive into one of the most important parts of our discussion: how social media has a positive impact on our lives. There's no denying that social media has changed the way we live, work, and connect with others. While it has its challenges, it has also brought many benefits that we should acknowledge and appreciate. Let's start with one of the biggest advantages: connecting with friends and family.
Absolutely, Adam. Social media has completely transformed how we stay in touch with our loved ones, especially those who live far away. In the past, staying connected meant writing letters or making expensive long-distance phone calls. Now, with platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, we can communicate instantly, no matter where we are in the world. For example, I have a cousin who lives in Australia. Thanks to social media, we can share pictures, send messages, and even have video calls without any cost. It feels like she's right next door, even though we're on opposite sides of the planet.
That's so true, Julia. Social media breaks down geographical barriers and makes it easy for people to maintain relationships. I've also noticed that it helps strengthen bonds within families. For instance, my parents are not very tech-savvy, but they've learned how to use WhatsApp to share pictures and videos with me. It's a small thing, but it means a lot to them to see updates from my life, especially when I can't visit them often. Social media keeps us connected in ways that were impossible before.
And it's not just about personal relationships, Adam. Social media also allows people to make new friends and meet others with similar interests. For example, there are countless groups and communities on Facebook where people can join discussions about hobbies, sports, or even personal challenges. I'm part of a book club on Facebook, and I've met people from all over the world who share their thoughts about the books we read. It's amazing to connect with people you would never have met otherwise.
That's a fantastic example, Julia. Social media not only connects us to friends and family, but also helps us expand our social circles in meaningful ways. Now let's talk about another positive impact: learning new things. Social media is not just for entertainment, it's also a powerful tool for education and self-improvement.
Yes, Adam. Educational content is everywhere on social media. Whether you're on YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok, you can find videos, posts, and tutorials about almost any topic. For example, if someone wants to learn how to cook, they can find step-by-step recipes and videos that make it easy to follow. I've personally learned so many cooking techniques just by watching short Instagram reels. And it's not just cooking. There's content about science, history, languages, and even life skills.
That's right, Julia. Social media makes learning accessible to everyone. For instance, I've been following a channel on YouTube that teaches basic coding skills. The creator explains everything in simple terms, so even beginners like me can understand. It's incredible how much knowledge is available for free on these platforms. In the past, you might have had to pay for a class or buy a book, but now you can learn directly from experts, often at no cost.
And let's not forget about platforms like LinkedIn, which are specifically designed for professional learning and networking. People can connect with industry leaders, attend virtual seminars, and even find job opportunities. Social media creates an environment where continuous learning is possible, no matter where you are in life.
That's an excellent point, Julia. Now let's move on to another positive aspect of social media: opportunities for small businesses and networking. Social media has opened up a whole new world for entrepreneurs and freelancers. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok allow small businesses to showcase their products and reach customers directly.
Exactly, Adam. In the past, starting a business meant renting a shop or investing in advertisements. Now, with social media, people can start a business from their own homes. For example, I know a friend who started a handmade jewelry business on Instagram. She posts pictures of her designs, interacts with customers in the comments, and even takes orders through direct messages. Her business grew quickly because social media allowed her to reach so many people without spending a lot of money on marketing.
That's a great example, Julia. Social media also makes it easier for people to network and build professional relationships. For instance, someone who wants to start a career in photography can share their portfolio on Instagram and attract clients from around the world. It's not just about selling products, it's also about showcasing your skills and building your brand.
Yes. And it's not just limited to individuals. Small businesses can use social media to create a presence, interact with customers, and even receive feedback. For example, many small cafes or restaurants post their menus and updates on Facebook. This helps them stay connected with their local community and attract more customers. Social media levels the playing field, allowing small businesses to compete with bigger companies.
That's so true, Julia. Lastly, let's talk about how social media helps promote important causes and spread awareness. This is one of the most impactful ways social media is used positively. People can use these platforms to talk about issues they care about, raise money for charity, and support movements that create change.
Absolutely, Adam. For example, during natural disasters, social media is often used to share updates, organize help, and raise donations. I remember seeing campaigns on Instagram during floods in different parts of the world. People came together to support the victims, and it was heartwarming to see how much good could be done through these platforms.
Yes, and it's not just about emergencies. Social media also allows people to spread awareness about everyday issues, like mental health, environmental protection, or equal rights. For instance, many creators on TikTok and Instagram share tips for managing stress or improving self-care. These small posts can make a big difference in someone's life.
That's true, Adam. Social media gives people a voice and a platform to talk about what matters to them. Whether it's starting a campaign for clean water or sharing stories about overcoming challenges, these platforms have the power to inspire and bring people together.
So, Julia, to sum up, social media has a lot of positive impacts. It helps us stay connected, learn new things, grow businesses, and even make the world a better place by promoting important causes. While it's easy to focus on the negative sides, we shouldn't forget how much good social media brings to our lives.
That's right, Adam. Social media is a tool, and like any tool, it's all about how we use it. If we use it wisely, it can enrich our lives in so many ways. We'll explore more about this as we continue our discussion.
Julia, as much as we've talked about the positive impacts of social media, it's important to address the other side of the coin. Social media is a powerful tool, but if not used carefully, it can also have some serious negative effects. Let's start by talking about one of the most common concerns: addiction to social media.
That's such an important point, Adam. Social media addiction has become a real issue for many people. It's so easy to lose track of time when you're scrolling through posts, watching videos, or checking notifications. For example, have you ever opened an app like Instagram just to check one thing, and suddenly, an hour has passed? This happens because these platforms are designed to keep us engaged. They use algorithms to show us content that grabs our attention, whether it's funny videos, trending topics, or posts from our friends. Over time, this habit can turn into a dependency, where people feel the need to check their social media accounts constantly, even during meals, meetings, or late at night.
Exactly, Julia. This constant urge to stay connected can interfere with other parts of our lives. People might spend less time with their families or neglect important tasks because they're glued to their screens. Studies have shown that excessive social media use can even affect our sleep patterns. Many people stay up late scrolling through their feeds, which makes it harder for them to get enough rest. Over time, this lack of sleep can lead to fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and even health problems.
And it's not just about the time we spend, Adam. Social media addiction can also have deeper psychological effects. When people are constantly online, they often start comparing themselves to others. Let's talk about how this can impact mental health, especially when it comes to stress and self-esteem.
That's a great point, Julia. One of the biggest mental health challenges linked to social media is the pressure to appear perfect. On platforms like Instagram or TikTok, people often share highlights of their lives, the best moments, the most exciting trips, or the most flattering photos. While there's nothing wrong with sharing good things, it can create a false sense of reality. When others see these posts, they might feel like their own lives don't measure up. They might think, "Why am I not traveling to beautiful places?" Or, "Why don't I look as good as that person?" Over time, this constant comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy, stress, and even depression.
You're absolutely right, Adam. This comparison trap is especially harmful for teenagers and young adults who are still figuring out their identities. They might feel pressured to look a certain way, have a certain lifestyle, or achieve unrealistic goals just to fit in. For example, I read about a study that found a link between social media use and body image issues. Many young people compare themselves to influencers or celebrities who have perfect bodies, forgetting that those images are often edited or filtered. This can lead to low self-esteem, eating disorders, or unhealthy habits.
That's such a serious issue, Julia. And let's not forget about the stress caused by constant notifications and the fear of missing out, or FOMO. People feel like they have to stay updated on every trend, event, or conversation happening online. If they miss something, they might feel left out or disconnected. This pressure to always be in the loop can make social media more stressful than enjoyable.
That's true, Adam. Another major concern is the spread of misinformation. Social media is a great way to share information quickly, but it's not always accurate. Sometimes false news or rumors can spread faster than the truth, especially when the content is shocking or emotional. For example, during emergencies or elections, we've seen how misinformation can create panic, confusion, or even division among people.
Exactly, Julia. One of the reasons this happens is that social media allows anyone to share information without fact-checking. While this freedom can be empowering, it also makes it easier for false or misleading content to go viral. For instance, some people share fake health tips, conspiracy theories, or edited videos without realizing they're not true. When others see these posts, they might believe them and share them further, creating a chain reaction. This is why it's so important to verify the sources of information before trusting what we see online.
And misinformation doesn't just affect individuals, Adam. It can also have larger social consequences. For example, when false information spreads about a community or group, it can lead to stereotypes, discrimination, or even conflicts. Social media companies have tried to address this issue by adding fact-checking labels or removing harmful content. But it's still a big challenge to control the flow of misinformation.
That's a very valid concern, Julia. Another issue that often gets overlooked is privacy and security. Social media platforms collect a lot of personal data about their users, from our likes and interests to our locations and even our private messages. While this data is often used to improve our experience, such as showing us relevant ads or suggestions, it can also be misused.
Yes, Adam. Many people don't realize how much of their personal information is shared online. For example, when you sign up for a social media account, you often provide details like your name, email address, and phone number. If you're not careful about your privacy settings, this information can be visible to strangers. There have also been cases where hackers have accessed people's accounts or stolen their data. This is why it's so important to use strong passwords and be cautious about what we share online.
And it's not just about individual accounts, Julia. Large-scale data breaches have exposed the personal information of millions of users. For example, some social media companies have been criticized for not doing enough to protect user data or for sharing it with advertisers without proper consent. This raises serious questions about how our information is handled and who has access to it.
That's a good point, Adam. Privacy concerns also extend to things like targeted ads or algorithms. Have you ever noticed how, after searching for a product online, you start seeing ads for it on social media? This happens because platforms track our online behavior to understand our preferences. While this can be convenient, it also feels invasive to know that our every click or search is being monitored.
Absolutely, Julia. These issues remind us that while social media has many benefits, it also comes with risks that we need to be aware of. The key is to use these platforms responsibly, set boundaries, and educate ourselves about the potential dangers. Social media is a tool, and it's up to us to decide how we use it.
Well said, Adam. By being mindful of how we engage with social media, we can enjoy its benefits without falling into its traps. And with that, let's move on to our next topic: how we can find a balance between using social media and living a healthy, fulfilling life.
Now that we've explored both the positive and negative impacts of social media, it's time to talk about something that can help all of us navigate this space more effectively: balancing our social media use. It's so easy to get caught up in the constant stream of notifications, posts, and updates. But it's important to remember that social media is a tool, and like any tool, it's most useful when used properly. So, Julia, what are some tips we can follow to make sure we use social media wisely?
That's such an important question, Adam. One of the first things we need to do is set clear boundaries for ourselves. This can start with something as simple as setting time limits. Think about it. How many times have you picked up your phone and spent an hour scrolling through your feed without even realizing it? It's easy to lose track of time, especially with apps designed to keep you engaged. But by setting a time limit, whether it's 30 minutes a day or an hour during specific times, we can help ourselves stay in control of our social media habits.
That's such a great tip, Julia. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Many social media apps like Instagram or Facebook actually have built-in features to help you manage your time. For example, you can set daily reminders or restrict access to apps after a certain period. This helps you be mindful of how much time you're spending online. It's important to make sure that when you do spend time on social media, it doesn't interfere with other important activities in your day, like work, school, or spending time with family.
Absolutely, Adam. Time management is key. But there's another aspect of social media use that can make a big difference: the content you consume. We all know how easy it is to get sucked into endless scrolling, but the type of content we choose to follow can greatly impact our mental health and overall well-being. One tip I like to suggest is to follow accounts that inspire, motivate, and educate you. Whether it's pages related to your hobbies, learning new skills, or accounts that provide positivity and encouragement, curating your feed to reflect things that make you feel good can really shift the experience of social media.
That's such a powerful point, Julia. Social media can be a great source of knowledge, and when you follow accounts that provide educational content, you can learn something new every day. There are accounts dedicated to teaching languages, science, history, and even practical skills like cooking or photography. These accounts don't just entertain, they help you grow and improve. If you're interested in personal development, you can find motivational speakers, productivity coaches, or even accounts that offer mental health tips. Curating your feed this way turns your social media time into a learning experience instead of just mindless scrolling.
Exactly, Adam. And let's not forget that social media can also be a source of support. There are so many communities online, whether it's people with shared hobbies, struggles, or interests, that can offer encouragement and understanding. So, if you're looking for inspiration, social media can definitely provide that. But it's also important to avoid toxic or negative accounts that only leave you feeling worse about yourself. We all know that comparison trap we mentioned earlier, where you see others living their perfect lives, and it makes you feel like you're not doing enough. So it's key to be mindful about what you allow into your online space.
Right, Julia. It's all about creating a positive digital environment for yourself. And if you find yourself getting frustrated or feeling low after seeing certain content, it might be a sign to unfollow or mute certain accounts. Social media should be a source of joy, inspiration, and connection, not a place where you feel stressed or upset. It's up to each of us to control what we expose ourselves to and make sure that our feeds support our mental well-being.
And just as important as what we choose to follow is knowing when to take breaks from social media. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your mental health is to step away for a while. Have you ever taken a break from social media, Adam?
Oh yes, Julia. I've done it a few times, and it's honestly been so refreshing. I've noticed that when I take a break from social media, I'm more present in the moment. I'm able to focus on my work, enjoy the company of friends and family, and just relax without the constant pressure to check notifications. Taking breaks can be a great way to clear your mind and reset. Even if it's just for a few hours or a day, disconnecting helps you recharge and come back with a healthier attitude toward social media.
That's a great point, Adam. Taking breaks doesn't mean you have to quit social media entirely. It's more about finding balance. Maybe you could try having a social media detox one day a week, where you focus on offline activities, like reading a book, going for a walk, or spending time with loved ones. You can also set a specific time each day to check your social media, instead of keeping it open all day. This helps to avoid the feeling of being constantly available or connected.
Yes, and for those of us who have a hard time staying off social media, it's also helpful to set physical boundaries. For example, leaving your phone in another room while eating dinner or during family time can help prevent distractions. Another great idea is to have a social media-free zone, like your bedroom or your study space, where you don't bring your phone or check your apps. This can help create a healthy distance between social media and important parts of your life.
Absolutely, Adam. And for anyone who feels like they might be struggling with social media use, it's also okay to talk about it. Sometimes, opening up about how you feel can help. You can discuss your concerns with friends or family, or even consider seeking professional advice if you feel like social media is taking too much of a toll on your mental health. Remember, it's about creating a balance that works for you. So don't be afraid to reach out for support if you need it.
You've hit the nail on the head, Julia. Balancing social media use is all about awareness and mindfulness. By setting time limits, following accounts that uplift and educate us, taking breaks when necessary, and being conscious of the content we consume, we can make social media work for us rather than the other way around. Social media can be an amazing tool, but it's essential to use it in a way that adds value to our lives rather than taking away from it.
Absolutely, Adam. And with that, we encourage everyone listening to be mindful of their social media habits. Try some of these tips, find what works for you, and always remember that it's okay to take a step back and reassess when things feel overwhelming. Social media should be a source of connection, growth, and positivity. Let's make sure we use it in ways that truly benefit us.
Well said, Julia. Thanks again for joining us on today's episode of The English Globe. We hope this discussion helps you better understand how to balance social media use and make it a positive part of your life. Stay connected, stay balanced, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.
All right, Julia. We've covered a lot of serious topics about the influence of social media on our daily lives, its impacts, both positive and negative, and how we can balance our use of it. But now, let's lighten things up a bit. We're going to have a fun and interactive segment where we share some funny or interesting social media stories, and we'll even throw in a quiz for our audience to participate in. Are you ready, Julia?
Oh, I am absolutely ready, Adam. I love a good laugh, and social media is full of hilarious moments. Sometimes it's hard to believe some of the things that go viral. So, let's dive in. I'll go first with a funny social media story that I came across recently.
I'm all ears, Julia. What's the story?
Okay, so this one is about a Twitter thread that went completely viral. It started with a simple tweet, just one tweet, about a woman who had accidentally left her phone in the bathroom while she was on the toilet. The funny part? She didn't realize it until about an hour later when she started receiving text messages from her family asking, "Why did you tweet the bathroom emojis?"
No way. Bathroom emojis? How did that even happen?
Well, it turns out that in her panic, she'd accidentally tweeted the bathroom emojis when trying to text her husband. And guess what? The tweet went viral. People loved it so much that they started making memes and responding with their own funny bathroom stories. It became this huge trend, and it just shows how one simple mistake can turn into this huge social media moment that gets shared all over the place.
That's hilarious. I can only imagine how many people were texting her, laughing and sharing their own bathroom moments. Social media has this funny way of making the most mundane moments go viral. I love how something so small can turn into such a big thing. Well, I've got a funny one too. This one's about a guy who wanted to show off his new pair of shoes on Instagram. He took a picture of them, posted it with a cool caption, and then went back to check the post, only to realize he'd accidentally posted the picture of his reflection in a puddle instead.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. So, his shoes were just a reflection in the puddle.
Yep. The shoes were in the reflection, and the puddle turned into the whole photo. It was like a very artistic mistake. Of course, people in the comments immediately started joking about how he was making puddle art a new trend. But it's just another example of how even an accident can create something entertaining and fun on social media. The guy ended up embracing the mistake and even shared another post about how he had accidentally started a new trend of puddle photography. It just shows how creative people can get, even when things don't go as planned.
That's the beauty of social media. People are so creative, and they can turn any little mistake or funny moment into something amazing. All right, Adam. Enough with the funny stories. Let's move on to the interactive quiz part of our segment. We want to involve our listeners and make it even more fun. I'm going to give you a challenge, Adam, and I want you to try and guess the social media platform or trend based on the clues I give you. Ready?
Ooh, I love quizzes. I'm ready, Julia. Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Clue number 1. This platform allows you to share short video clips, often set to music, and it's known for its viral dance challenges and trends. It's so popular with Gen Z, and it's one of the fastest growing apps in the world.
That sounds like TikTok. It's the app where people make all those dance challenges and lip-sync videos, right?
You got it, Adam. It's TikTok. Great job. Now, here's the next one. This social media platform is all about sharing photos. It's known for its filters, and you can post pictures of your meals, your travels, and even cute pictures of pets. It has a feature called Stories, where you can post photos that disappear after 24 hours.
Oh, that's definitely Instagram. The one where everyone shares their photos and captions, and you can also use hashtags to reach more people.
Absolutely. Instagram is all about those photos and videos, and the Stories feature makes it even more fun. You're doing great, Adam. Okay, here's the next one. This platform is all about short text updates, and it has a limit of 280 characters per post. People often use hashtags to join in on trending topics, and it's famous for its real-time updates about everything from news to pop culture.
I know this one. It's Twitter, of course. The platform where everyone shares their thoughts, jokes, and retweets funny content.
Yes, it's Twitter, where everything happens in real time. Great job, Adam. Okay, let's keep this going. Here's another one for you. This platform is known for sharing professional achievements, building networks, and looking for job opportunities. It's also a great place to connect with people in the business world.
That sounds like LinkedIn. It's where professionals connect with each other, post their resumes, and even share career advice.
You nailed it again, Adam. LinkedIn is all about professional networking. You're doing fantastic. And I'm sure our listeners are getting these right too. Okay, last one. This platform is all about connecting with friends, sharing your status, and liking posts. You can join groups, attend events, and share photos or thoughts about your day.
That sounds like Facebook. It's the platform that's been around for years and still has millions of active users.
Yes, that's Facebook. It's been a part of social media for so long, and it continues to connect people across the world. Well done, Adam. You've completed the quiz.
That was a lot of fun, Julia, and I hope all our listeners enjoyed it as well. It's always interesting to see how social media platforms can be so unique, but at the same time, they all play a huge part in our daily lives. Whether it's for fun, learning, connecting with others, or staying informed, there's a platform for just about everything.
Definitely, Adam. Social media has become such an important part of our lives, and it's so interesting to see how each platform offers something different. Well, that wraps up our fun and interactive segment. We hope everyone enjoyed the quiz and our funny social media stories.
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. We hope you had as much fun as we did. Make sure to follow us on our own social media platforms, and don't forget to share your favorite social media stories with us. We love hearing from you.
Absolutely, Adam. Stay tuned for the next episode, and remember to always stay connected in a way that works for you. Until next time, take care.
Julia, we've talked a lot about the present-day impact of social media, but I think it's also important to look toward the future. Social media is evolving so quickly, and it's fascinating to imagine how it might shape our lives in the years to come. For instance, with the rise of technologies like virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and augmented reality, social media platforms are becoming more immersive than ever before. We're seeing a shift toward experiences that feel almost like real life. Imagine attending a virtual concert where you can interact with your favorite artist, or joining a virtual workspace where you collaborate with colleagues from around the globe, all from the comfort of your home.
That's so true, Adam. Social media is no longer just about scrolling through posts and liking pictures. It's transforming into something much deeper, almost like a parallel digital universe where people can interact, work, learn, and even create entirely new forms of culture. For example, platforms are starting to integrate AI-powered tools that can personalize content even more, making our feeds almost a reflection of our thoughts and interests. While this sounds exciting, it also brings up some important questions about how much influence these platforms will have over our lives. If social media becomes so personalized, will it limit our exposure to new ideas? Will it create echo chambers where we only see what we already believe? These are questions we'll need to address as these technologies continue to develop.
That's an excellent point, Julia. Another aspect of the future of social media is its role in education and career development. We're already seeing platforms like LinkedIn and YouTube becoming hubs for professional growth and learning. In the future, social media might play an even bigger role in how people acquire skills, build portfolios, and connect with mentors or employers. Imagine a world where your social media profile is your resume, where your skills, achievements, and even projects are showcased in a way that's accessible to anyone, anywhere in the world. This could democratize opportunities and make it easier for talented people to find success, regardless of where they live.
Yes, Adam. And let's not forget about how social media might influence global social movements and causes. We've already seen how platforms like Twitter and Instagram have amplified voices and brought attention to important issues like climate change, human rights, and mental health awareness. In the future, this role might grow even stronger, with social media becoming a primary tool for driving positive change on a global scale. However, with this power also comes the responsibility to ensure that platforms aren't used to spread misinformation or create division. It's a delicate balance that will need constant attention.
Absolutely, Julia. And as social media evolves, so will the challenges. One area I think we'll need to focus on is regulation and ethics. With all the incredible advancements, there's also the potential for misuse, whether it's data privacy concerns, the spread of fake news, or the rise of harmful content. Governments, tech companies, and users will need to work together to create a safer, more responsible digital space. For example, future social media platforms might incorporate more robust fact-checking tools, or even introduce ways for users to have more control over the algorithms that determine what they see.
Those are some great insights, Adam. I also think that the future of social media will depend a lot on how younger generations approach it. For Gen Z and beyond, social media is almost like a second language. It's how they communicate, learn, and express themselves. If this trend continues, we might see even more creative ways of using social media, from storytelling to building businesses to solving complex global problems. But with this power, it's important to teach young people how to use these platforms responsibly. Digital literacy will be a critical skill in the future, helping people navigate the online world safely and effectively.
Exactly, Julia. The future of social media is filled with both opportunities and challenges. It's up to us to shape it in a way that enhances our lives rather than controlling them. Whether it's through innovation, regulation, or education, we all have a role to play in creating a digital future that's inclusive, ethical, and inspiring. I think the key will be finding the right balance, leveraging the benefits of these platforms while minimizing the risks.
Well said, Adam. Social media is a powerful tool, and its future holds endless possibilities. It's exciting to think about how it will continue to evolve, but we must also stay mindful of its impact on our lives. As users, we have the power to shape these platforms by how we engage with them, what we share, and what we support. If we use social media with intention and awareness, I believe we can create a digital world that truly brings people together and drives positive change.
That's a wonderful way to wrap up this segment, Julia. The future of social media is a topic that's both inspiring and thought-provoking, and I hope our listeners found this discussion as exciting as we did. Let's all stay curious, mindful, and open to the possibilities ahead. Wow, Julia, what an incredible conversation we've had today. We've discussed everything from the positive and negative impacts of social media to how it shapes our daily routines. I think we've covered a lot of ground and given our listeners a lot to think about. As we wrap up today's episode, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the key takeaways from everything we've talked about.
Absolutely, Adam. It's been such a rich and engaging discussion, and I feel like we've really unpacked the role social media plays in our lives. First and foremost, I think it's important to remember that social media isn't inherently good or bad. It's about how we choose to use it. Social media has given us an incredible ability to connect with others, learn new things, and even build communities. We can use it as a tool to stay in touch with friends and family, share educational content, or promote causes that are important to us. But, as we've discussed, it's also something we need to approach carefully.
That's right, Julia. We all have a lot of control over how we use social media. One of the biggest takeaways from today's episode is the importance of balance. Social media can be incredibly rewarding, but it can also be overwhelming and even harmful if we're not mindful of our usage. We've talked about how easy it is to become addicted to social media and how constant exposure to curated posts can affect our mental health, leading to stress and feelings of comparison. It's so important to set boundaries and be mindful of how much time we spend on these platforms.
Yes, absolutely. And we also touched on the spread of misinformation, which has become a major issue on social media. With so much information at our fingertips, it's easy to get confused or misled. So it's critical to always verify information before sharing it to ensure that we are promoting truth rather than contributing to confusion. Another key point we discussed was privacy and security concerns, something that's often overlooked. we need to be cautious about the personal information we share online and be aware of how our data is being used by social media platforms.
That's such an important point, Julia. As much as social media connects us, we need to remember that it's a public space. It's a space where our personal information is shared and often used for marketing or even sold to third parties. Being mindful of privacy settings and thinking twice before posting certain things can go a long way in protecting ourselves. But on the other hand, social media also offers amazing opportunities, like helping small businesses grow, creating networking opportunities, and even giving people a platform to promote social causes and spread awareness about important issues. There's so much potential for positive change when social media is used responsibly.
Exactly. I think the main takeaway here is that social media has the power to shape our world in both positive and negative ways, depending on how we engage with it. The best approach is to use it mindfully, setting boundaries, and finding a balance that works for us. Whether it's for entertainment, connection, education, or business, social media can be an amazing tool if used with intention. And as we talked about earlier, taking breaks from social media is so important for maintaining a healthy balance. If we give ourselves the chance to step away from the constant flow of information, we can reconnect with ourselves and the people around us in a more meaningful way.
That's such a good point, Julia. Reflection is key. So I want to encourage all of our listeners today to take a moment and think about their social media habits. How much time do you spend on social media every day? Are there certain platforms that make you feel good and others that leave you feeling drained or stressed? Have you noticed how social media impacts your mood, your mental health, or even your relationships? These are important questions to ask ourselves. And once we have that awareness, we can start to take steps toward healthier social media habits, whether that means cutting down on screen time, unfollowing accounts that don't bring us joy, or simply being more mindful of how we use these platforms.
Absolutely. Taking small steps to make our social media use more intentional can make a huge difference in how we feel. And remember, it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to disconnect. It's okay to set boundaries that work for you. This isn't about completely cutting out social media. It's about using it in a way that aligns with your values and helps you live your best life. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed by social media, or you're struggling to find balance, don't be afraid to take a step back and reevaluate your habits. You deserve to have a healthy relationship with social media, just like you do with anything else in your life.
I couldn't agree more, Julia. And with that, we want to thank all of our listeners for joining us today on the English Globe. We hope this episode gave you some valuable insights into how social media impacts our daily lives, and more importantly, how you can use it mindfully to make it a positive part of your routine. If you found today's conversation helpful or thought-provoking, we encourage you to share this episode with your friends or leave us a comment about your own experiences with social media.
Yes, please do. We love hearing from you and getting your feedback. And before we wrap up, I want to give a quick sneak peek into our next episode. We'll be talking about the importance of learning English for career growth and success. We'll discuss how improving your English skills can open up new job opportunities and help you connect with people around the world. It's going to be an exciting episode, so don't miss it.
That's right. If you're looking to take your English skills to the next level, then our next episode is perfect for you. And as always, we'll keep it simple, fun, and informative. Thanks again for listening to the English Globe. We appreciate you being a part of our community, and we can't wait to connect with you next time. Until then, take care and remember to reflect on how you use social media. Let's make it work for us, not the other way around.
Take care, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.